What's up guys, welcome to a brand new video. I'm going to be going over my updated deck list that I'm going to try to bring to my next Nexus nights. This is not my dream deck at all. This is just the cards I have that have access to that I'll be kind of switching out. If you've looked at any of my other past videos, I have gone over my deck list. So it's going to look pretty similar to the other ones, but I have made a couple changes. I'm going to quickly kind of go over through everything. But again, if you've already seen my past deck list videos, then you might be a little bit familiar with some of these cards. But this is an updated list, so there is some changes. To just kind of go with it, I will be, Lee Sin, obviously I'm still rocking with Lee Sin because it's pretty much the starter deck I started off with, and I'm still enjoying, I'm still having fun. I guess I will say, disclaimer, this is by no means probably going to be a competitive deck at all, but it's a deck that I have fun with, and maybe after you see this video, you might think, wow, it looks pretty fun too. Don't have a name for it yet. Lee Sin with a splash of Machine Gun Udyr. That's what I'll go with. Or Tower Defense Lee Sin with Udyr Machine Gun. That's probably a better name. And I will explain why I'm saying that, because this whole deck kind of revolves around Lee Sin and buffing him up as much as possible, putting him on a battlefield, and then, just tanking it out. And then with him on one battlefield, you are just machine gunning down the opposing battlefield with Udyr, Charm, Dragon's Rage, Caitlyn. There's other things that pretty much makes it so that you can just hold it in one battlefield and then, still go after the second battlefield. So pretty much I'm using this Lee Sin, the green Lee Sin, as my card that is next to my legend unit. I honestly have no idea what that space is called, but pretty much the plan is to as soon as I can play him, and then just start buffing him until he, gets super strong. That's why I also added this one gear in here, if I can find it. This card, Arena Bar. It's a gear that pretty much you can tap every single turn, and for an exhausted unit, you can buff it. So pretty much every turn, Lee Sin is going to be able to gain 2 buffs, which is pretty much 2 might. So he's going to get tapped by himself for 1, and then if I have Arena Bar out, I'll also be able to tap Arena Bar to give Lee Sin an additional buff. When I first saw Arena Bar, I thought this was kind of, a meh card for 3 costs, every turn give an exhausted unit a buff. Didn't seem crazy, but when I kind of thought to it, the longer you have this kind of card down on your field and you're able to tap it, the more value you're going to get. Within 3 turns, you're going to get 3 might of power. If you draw into it, that's why there's also 3 here, and so I could draw early enough. Also, unless I'm wrong in this, drawing multiple of these isn't that bad either, because then you're pretty much just going to be able to tap them all each turn. Having multiple, you'd probably want to see, because then your Lee Sin's only going to get ramped up more and more, and if you don't know, Lee Sin can get buffed as many times as possible. So I do think if he doesn't die, sooner or later he's just going to get to 15 might, and just, you're never going to really be able to kill him unless you just have like a 1 kill move. So Arena Bar is really good with Lee Sin, also really good with Udyr, because the next nights I've played, as the matches I've played, I've found that being able to have more access to giving Udyr more buffs was kind of troublesome for me. Besides, with your legend, you get that at least 1 buff a turn. With the Arena Bar, you'll be able to even put more buffs on Udyr each turn. And being able to deal 2 damage to a unit with his effect is actually really good, because if you can do that multiple times in 1 turn, you're thus killing larger and larger units. Throw a Caitlyn in the mix, maybe that, that 3-4 damage might that you're giving her, maybe that, kills a really big monster or unit onto the other battlefield. So that's kind of the idea. Get Lee Sin out as quick as possible, buff him up as quick as possible, move him to a battlefield, use Charm to kill opposing units, use Caitlyn, use Udyr. Also, Warwick. Warwick, I feel like, has a little bit gone under the radar, and I really haven't played him too much, but he enters ready and he kills any damaged unit at a battlefield. So if using, let's see, Whirlwind or Flurry of Blades and Warwick, a 2-card combo that would pretty much kill everything on a battlefield with no combat happening. You play Flurry of Blades, you send Warwick in, Warwick kills all the units at that battlefield, because they're all damaged from Flurry Blades. That is 2 cards for 7 cost, 1 energy that would kill everything. It just seems really strong, and you don't even need Flurry of Blades to, you know, activate this combo. You just need Warwick, and then if you have Udyr, he would pretty much be able to, you know, ping a unit, send Warwick in to kill that one unit that was pinged. So Flurry of Blades would work well if there was, you know, 3, anything larger than, you know, 2 units there, it would be able to work. But also you could kind of pull off the combo with Udyr and Warwick, or Caitlyn and Warwick. Anything that pretty much would just deal damage to them before combat starts, Warwick would be able to go in and clean up. So I feel like there's a lot of synergies there. I'm not sure on the ratios. Right now I have 2 Caitlyn, 3 Warwick, 3 Udyr, you know, 2 of these Flurry of Blades. I think, you know, you could mess around with the ratios to see what kind of is that perfect match. There was a lot of cards I felt like I was trying to fit in here. And as you can tell, I only have 1 Seal of Focus and not even the other seal for orange or body. And it's just because I don't have access to it. If I had access to it, maybe I'd add it. I'm honestly not so sure if these seals are even good right now. I think I just need more playtesting. So that's the general vibe of the deck, you know, getting Lee Sin buffed as possible, and then, you know, abusing these cards that don't actually have to interact with the other battlefield to kill off the units. And then obviously Udyr has ganking, Warwick, he enters ready, Kiana finally then once I've cleared off that battlefield, I'd be able to move these units over there to, you know, kind of secure, close out the game, you know, get that last point or hold. There was one other big card that I added in here that I didn't have, that I've actually never used before, and I'm kind of curious on what the impact would be, but it's this Rune Prison. When I first read Rune Prison, I honestly thought it was really bad. It was like 2 cost, 1 energy, stun a unit. Seems not very impactful at all. Seems pretty bad if you just, you know, don't think too much into it. But as I've played more and more Nexus Knights, I've realized that I'm actually losing these games because there's 1 big monster, 1 Darius, 1 Thousand Eyed Watcher, 1 big card that is pretty much pushing into my battlefield with Lee Sin, super buffed up, and then being able to kill him somehow. Usually it's with the Darius, sometimes it's Jinx, the Thousand Eye Watcher card that reduces all units' might by 3. Those super high Mundo, those super high might cards, if you stun them, you save yourself a turn, and I feel like a lot of times it's having that one other turn where they're not moving in on their terms. The next turn, if you charm them, or if you know, use Dragon's Rage, there's other tools. If they were just sitting in their base, there's other tools I would have that I'd be able to kill them before they'd really be able to make their plays. And so being able to stun those big key targets seem useful. It just, when I replay in minds where it's like, oh, this is pretty much where they turned the game around, it's when they had a big unit. It's like, well, Rune Prison might actually solve the, would solve them beating the conquering that battlefield. So I want to try it. It doesn't seem that good. There are other scenarios I could see it being good in the sense that, if they have, if we have 2 units that are like same might, just stun their unit and then push them with your might, your unit, and then because their unit can't do any damage, you'd be able to win the battle. There's a couple other niche scenarios, but it's really just to protect, from the late game when they finally do summon that 20 might Mundo, and they're trying to, finally kill everything. To kind of quickly go over the other cards, I would say Charm, Defy, and Discipline. Those three different cards all seem kind of just staples in green. I really like this Lee Sin. This is also just seems good because if you run Mobilize, this is just for 1 cost more, you get to draw a card, and also sometimes you get it for even cheaper. Sabotage, really good card. I don't know if you need to run 3 of it. I only have 1, so I run 1. Kiana, really good at conquering for in the early game. It's kind of a card you want to see. Let's see, Dragon's Rage. Only have 1 Dragon's Rage. Might run 2. that's the general deck list, guys. I'm hopefully going to try to go to Nexus Night soon here to test it out and see if, my theory on Rune Prison is, good or not. I definitely think I'm at the point in the game where I'm just trying to kind of learn the rules and, see what works for me. I'm not trying to drop, a crazy amount of money, so I think I'm going to be sticking with Lee Sin for a while. Maybe I'll give myself a Christmas present this year and buy some cards I've been looking for. But yeah, I'm going to run with this, guys. If you enjoy these kind of videos, I'm going to try to do more deck lists where I show you guys, what I'm running and kind of my thought process behind them. I know this was kind of all over the place, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you guys want to watch more. See you guys next time. Hot tamales.